All right, welcome back to the Attack the Rack Daily Show. Today is Independence Day, July 4, 2024. Um, Fellas, first of all, happy Independence Day to you guys. We'll talk a little bit more about 4th of July stuff as we wrap up the show. Let's get right into today's lineup. Um, LeBron James, 2-year max contract, $104 million. Slightly different than what we were told earlier in the week. We talked about this on Tuesday's show. The narrative out there was that LeBron was going to opt out of his massive tail end of his contract to sign at a much reduced amount in order to hopefully make more money available to bring in a big name player. Trent, we'll start with you. Thoughts on the change of the narrative here?
I think 2 years is a good number for him. I mean, how old is he?
Just about 40. I think he'll turn 40 during the 24-25 season.
Yeah, so I think 2 years is a good number for him. And maybe it gives them the option to give money out somewhere else, maybe bring in another player. So I think, I mean, 104 million, that's a ton of money, but it's LeBron, so it worth it. But I think it's a good contract for him. I think it's good for him to go 2 years instead of like trying to stretch out like a 4 or 5 year, which you kind of see with some of the older guys that try to do that. So I think it's a good move on his part for a 2 year and probably have that farewell tour for him as well.
So good for him, obviously. But
Yeah.
again, how do you think what does that do for the Los Angeles Lakers? Again, we were told earlier in the week that he was going to sign, at a really low amount in order to make room for somebody else.
Yeah. I would never see, I don't think I could see LeBron signing for way less. I just don't think that's his style. I think it's good. I mean, it's hard for the Lakers. I don't think he's going to go to another team for the rest of his career. So I guess you kind of would rather see him through. But I mean, it's tough with lay GM. It's a little difficult. I think it's a good move for the Lakers.
Yeah, and it's a 1-1, right? So he can opt out after this first year. Um, it's LeBron, right? He's going to get paid. Um, I don't think it gives much flexibility to the Lakers to really do much. I don't think they have much more room. I don't think they have any draft pieces that maybe they can turn into anything else. So I don't think it helps them. I think they're probably going to be a middle of the sea type of team in the West. They probably didn't get any better. I mean, I do like their draft pick, the kid out of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he might be able to do something right away. Um, but I think they're kind of LeBron's going to get paid. The Lakers are the Lakers. They haven't been much of a force the last couple of years,
Yeah.
and that they're going to continue down that path.
Yeah. Well, and then the other news also staying not only with the Los Angeles Lakers but with the James family. It also is now sounds like and maybe the contract has now been signed. I haven't heard anything official yet, but that now Bronny James, they're going to give him a multi-year, multi-million dollar contract, but the huge thing here is that it is a guaranteed contract, which second round draft picks are not. There's no requirement that second round picks get guaranteed contracts. I think on top of that, even with that, it's very unheard of that happens. But yet the Lakers are willing to give their 55th pick, someone who most of the experts are saying has no business playing in the NBA. Um, they're willing to give him a multi-year, multi-million dollar contract. Big Mo, I mean, first of all, blessings to Bronny James for being able to do that. I mean, it's not his fault, but Big Mo, how do you think that that affects the team, the Los Angeles Lakers as a whole?
I don't think it affects them at all. I think those guys are all professionals. They're all making millions, so I don't think, if anything, like I said, it opens up the door. If Bronny exceeds expectations, it looks like a great job, a great move by the Lakers.
Yep.
If he doesn't meet the expectations, he's going to hang around for a year. It's not going to work out. Maybe JJ Redick's player development plan pans out. Maybe he grows 4 or 5 inches and all of a sudden becomes like the next player. But I think this is probably more about the Lakers just respecting LeBron, saying, "Hey, we're taking a shot on this guy. The upside, the NBA is based on potential, right? LeBron's son has got some potential. They're taking a cue on that, a cue on him. They're going to run with it. I don't think it affects anything outside the fact that it just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
But it probably doesn't look good because it's being shoved in your face a little bit. But there's always been this type of stuff going on. Whether it's front office, players,
Well,
somebody
I
with
mean,
it with it.
the
But
I no, I hear what you're saying, but I mean, the difference is we've never seen this with like a player. Yeah, I'm sure it happens in the front office all the time. It happens in all business everywhere, but I don't think we've seen where a player has has dictated something like this.
yeah, well, Giannis has his brother playing in Milwaukee. I have no idea on his background of his brother's playing ability.
He's
Uh,
gone.
Is he gone? So,
Got
well,
traded.
the thing too with his brother though is that he wasn't drafted by the Bucks. The Knicks drafted him,
oh,
and he was a high elite player in Greece uh, prior to getting drafted. So, um,
I get what you
I don't think it plays any. I think it is what it is. I think it's just out there because it doesn't
yeah.
look great. But you're talking about one of the top 5 players in the NBA history. His son probably has some type of potential. The Lakers are just taking the cue and kind of rewarding both those aspects, I think. And I think you just take it and run with it. And again, if he's good enough, he's going to make it. If he's not going to be with the team very long.
Yeah. Imagine imagine him becoming like mini Russell Westbrook or something like that, and then you got him for 4 years. Like if he does pan out to be a pretty good player, it's kind of like the NFL rookie contract for like quarterbacks and stuff like that. It's like they're not making a bunch of money, but they're still producing good numbers. So like if he can help in any sort of way, I feel like longevity wise, 4 years is you'll get your money's worth.
yeah, I mean, and again, that I mean, either way, if they do decide it is not working out and they want to let him go, they still got to pay him. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the thing too. One last thing on this, the I don't know if you guys saw the press conference where JJ Redick and Rob Pelinka were talking about how Bronny's earned this and blah 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 blah. I mean, obviously they have to say that. I would just rather see them just be honest and be like, hey, LeBron James, yeah, he wanted his son drafted. He wanted to play with his son. He's a top 5 Los Angeles Laker of all time. He's
Hmm.
probably the top 5 NBA player of all time. So, yeah, we we decided to grant his wish and just move on. Just admit
Yeah.
it, But I know they can't. But
Yeah, and I think most people would probably disagree with that, but it is what it is. I mean, they've got the right to attack that however they want. I think it's a waste of time to worry about it. The summer league is going to show you what
True.
training camp is going to show you, and whether he can play or not, he's going to show us. So um, it is what it is.
Summer League's coming up too, isn't it?
It is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's always in July, right? Well, no, it shouldn't be affected by the Olympics. I wouldn't think. I think they will still.
I think it
Yeah.
starts next week, doesn't it?
Yeah, it probably does. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, hey, let's guys, it's Independence Day today. It's July 4. A little bit of a cloudy Thursday afternoon here. I'm out of town. Enjoying just enjoying some relaxation here. Looks like you guys are at your respective homes. Do you guys have any plans at all to? I mean, try. I know you had to still work today.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was at
hopefully,
work a little longer than I thought I was going to be today. Because
uh, what happened?
there was a nice leak on hole 10 today, so we had to fix that.
Little irrigation issues on the golf course, huh?
Yep, left a nice puddle in front. It was like a moat.
All right. Well, in Big Mo, I know grilling is something you're phenomenal at. That's kind of a tradition on the 4th of July. But I also know that you grilled some chicken last night. Do you got leftovers? Or are you going to maybe fire up the grill again today? Or
Oh, we'll fire up the grill. Just a single serving of a couple steaks, maybe one for today, one for tomorrow.
okay,
Nothing big. No big plans. I'm gonna sit back. I was watching a little bit of the new Beverly Hills cop that just came out on Netflix there. So I'm gonna go back after the show, watch the end of that, fire up the
actually,
grill, and get ready to enjoy the rest of the day.
yeah, Chad Zagar from our NFL Picks show here on the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. He sent out a text to our fantasy football group, highly recommending that movie. So I will try to dive into that over the weekend as well, and maybe we can talk about it on next Tuesday's show.
Sounds
Yeah,
like a plan. Sounds
those
like a
those
plan.
have been around a while, haven't they?
Yeah, just
Well,
a
like
tad.
the original Beverly Hills Cop goes back to probably like what, 82, 83, 84, something like that.
I thought I was gonna say 84. I think.
Yeah.
84.
Yeah. Classic film.
Just
Classic
before
film.
your time, Trent. Just a little before your time.
Just a little bit.
Speaking of grilling out, Trent, what summertime barbecuing, cookouts, what's something that what's like your favorite outdoor grill type food?
Ooh, I probably have to go with a nice bratwurst. I think a good bratwurst is really good in the summer, barbecuing, hanging out with friends and family and that kind of thing. I would go with a bratwurst.
What toppings?
Just give me ketchup and mustard.
Sure,
I'm good with that.
sure. Big Mo?
Yeah, besides obviously today I'm grilling out a little steak, I think, but most Fourth of July's, I just like a good hot dog, a little mustard, ketchup, kind of almost like you're hitting the golf course. You hit the golf course, you probably got to get a dog at the turn. I think the Fourth is usually one of those days where you can have a couple dogs throughout the day. Um, and the problem is being, by myself on the Fourth. I'm not just going to open up a pack of hot dogs. So the steak is a lot easier.
Hey, the contest was today, so you might as well
Yeah. See if I can get down. I think 58 was the winner today, by the way.
dog for dog.
Yeah, so yeah, let me hold on, let me get the guy's name again here.
Oh
Pat,
yeah,
Pat Bertoletti. Pat Bertoletti. 50 was it 58?
I
Yeah,
think it's 58, wasn't it?
58 dogs. And again, as we talked about yesterday, without Joey Chestnut, there's got to be an asterisk, right? Because we know Joey Chestnut would have blown that number out of the water. I mean, he's always in the 60s. More recently, his record's 76. Uh, no doubt he would have dominated the competition today. So we still think an asterisk for Pat, or we want to still give him some props, Big Mo?
Yeah, give him props, man. Give him props. You got to show up. Kobashi didn't. Who they didn't let who
Joey
didn't
Chestnut. Joey Chestnut.
Chestnut. Hey, you got to be in the tournament to win.
it's true. It's true.
Um, hey, Trent, what do you think? Are these these competitive eaters? Would you consider them athletes?
I was thinking that the other day. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, to put down 58 hot dogs in 10 minutes, that's a special skill set. So it's a different type of athlete, obviously. It's not running and jumping and being agile, but to shovel down 58 hot dogs in 10 minutes is pretty freaking impressive. So I would say, yes, they are athletes.
Big Mo?
Hey, special type of training, right? Special type of training to put down that type of food. So you know, Definitely a different type of athlete, but hey, let's give them their props. I wish I could eat 72 hot dogs
In
Well,
10 minutes.
in 10 minutes.
all right. So just on the brief discussion we just had about that, you guys have totally changed my mindset. I was thinking there, we we consider, I think there's a difference between athletics and sport. Now, I think they're intertwined, but I think there's certain sports that aren't necessarily athletics. So when I look at
Hmm.
like NASCAR racing, I consider that a sport, but I don't know if the drivers are athletes. Or like professional fishermen, I consider fishing competitions sport,
Hmm.
but are they athletes? And prior to what we just talked about here, what you guys said, I was thinking along the same lines with competitive eaters. It's a sport, but I don't consider them athletes. But as you guys mentioned, first of all, it does involve physical activity. You also do need to train. So I think you guys have changed my mind. I do think these competitive eaters are athletes. Um, but back to like NASCAR, fishermen, Big Mo, would you consider them athletes?
Oh, I would you want to get behind the wheel?
Absolutely not. And,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
think.
not taking anything at all away from them.
Well,
It's
you
incredible.
can you imagine the hand-eye coordination you got to have to do that job?
True.
Um,
And I'm sure that your body is like getting beaten
oh,
to hell too.
oh yeah, yeah. And then how many hours you? I mean, I don't know how long those races are, but some of them
Stamina. Yeah,
are.
stamina.
Yeah, I consider them all athletes. They're just all different types of athletes. But
Yeah.
again, I'm not going to go out and spend a day fishing mainly because I don't want to, but I'm not sure I could either, standing on my feet all day, trying to get that feel to reel in a fish. Um, I give them all their credit, Kurt.
Yeah.
They're all athletes, just in a different type of manner.
True. Because like a pro fisher, like if you took myself and then a pro fisher and put us in like the same river or body of water, and I know for a fact I would catch less than 5 fish in a sitting. That dude would probably bring in like a week's worth of dinner, you
Oh,
know? So I think just like the knowledge of like what they're doing
yeah.
makes them an
Knowledge,
athlete
being able
almost.
to sit out there in the hot sun all freaking day, and
Right.
just to be
And like,
able to, those are just putting your body through some of that. We wouldn't. I
yeah,
don't know if we'd be able to do it. I don't know.
No,
yeah,
definitely not. All right,
no.
one more for you, Trent. How about professional poker players?
Poker. Yeah.
Athletes?
I mean, World Series of Poker, they can make a ton of money. I think I guess there's got to be some sort of strategy, obviously, with poker, especially like 5 card. I think two like Hold'em would be a little bit, man, that's tough. I guess they're athletes. I think I wouldn't be able to sit at a table for 12, 14 hours, however long they sit there in a session and play poker. Um, Plus, like, I think the strategy behind being a good poker player takes you got to have some smarts and some wits about you as well, like bluffing people or like raising bets or staying like that type little mind games with your opponents. I think that correlates.
Put them on the lower ring of athletes.
Yeah,
You probably don't need to be fit to
Well,
probably make it through some of that, but in their own way, that type of competition is probably unique.
yeah,
yeah, I guess that's where I'm coming from as a whole with the NASCAR, the fishermen, the poker is like those are all incredible skill sets, um, taking an incredible amount of talent and skill. But do those take, you know, certain athletic attributes like a fisherman or NASCAR poker player, etc. They can be incredible athletes, and probably a lot of them are incredible athletes. But are they good at what they do because of the athletic skills they have, or just because of the skill sets they do have needed to be good at NASCAR fishing? poker.
Yes.
That's just where I'm coming from. So
I think their skill set, the skill set that they have for the specific sport, makes that. I think it makes them an athlete.
okay, fair
Because
enough.
I mean, as like basketball and football and that, like those types, we're talking about like how quick you get off the floor and like your reaction time, which still flows into NASCAR. But it's like we look at it more as like running, jumping, how strong you are, toughness, that type of thing, versus the other end of the spectrum of like bowling and chess and like those ones are different. So I just think it's a different style.
Yeah, and they're all different anyway. I mean, think about the different type of athlete in the NBA or even in the NFL
Mhm.
True.
based on position, players. There's
Right.
such a wide range. I think definitely differs in some of those other areas, but again, it's just a wider range of a wide array of skills, talents, athletic ability that probably make you an athlete.
Sure.
It's like if you took Jokic and you like brought him to somebody who's never watched basketball in their life, and then you're like, hey, this is top 5 basketball player in the world currently. They would be like, oh, well, I don't know about that. So I think because he doesn't look the part, but he's just so good in at what he does that kind of makes him an athlete.
Right. No, for sure. No, hey, good discussion today, guys. I was a little nervous because like we talked about in pre-production today. This time of year, there's not a ton going on in sports outside of Major League Baseball. So, um, what a challenging way for us to get this show going and gain some momentum. We're really gonna, speaking of skill sets, really show our skill sets in order to make this stuff entertaining without a ton of potentially entertaining topics. But fellas, football is right around the corner. First NFL preseason game, less than a month away. Looking forward to that. Appreciate you guys being here again. Anything else for today's show? Anything we missed?
Yeah,
I
happy
don't think
Fourth,
so.
happy
Happy
Fourth.
Fourth.
Be careful with the fireworks.
Oh,
True.
I was going to ask you, are you guys going to be viewing any fireworks tonight anywhere?
I wonder if I can see him from my back porch.
Well, I will tell you that because you live near where I live, I've never been successful.
Okay, so no. So I will not be watching any fireworks.
You could probably find something going on the TV, Trent. There's got to be
YouTube.
some fire. Yeah, YouTube. There you go. Put them in the
Live,
background.
live from the beach.
All right. See you guys Tuesday.